Hey y'all, and welcome back to Seahawk Central. We're your hosts. I'm Davis Bell for Seahawk Central Sports.
And I'm Emma Tillman with Seahawk Central News. This week, our reporters and I cover a range of topics touching on the upcoming election, bus route changes, daylight savings, and more. Let's jump into things with Bella talking about the upcoming election.
Thanks, Emma. State elections are just as important as presidential ones, but they are not given the same coverage. Being educated on each candidate's campaign so you can make an informed decision regarding the future of your state is one of our most important civil duties and rights as Americans. On Thursday, October 17th, I got the chance to participate in a virtual interview with Democratic governor candidate Josh Stein, along with 3 other student journalists from Elon, UNC Chapel Hill, and Salem College. The 4 of us got the chance to ask Stein 1 to 2 questions each, and over the course of the call, we discussed issues regarding LGBTQ+ rights, DEI policies, public education, and the economy. For a more detailed outline of what we discussed with Stein, visit theseahawk.org, where I wrote an article titled "A Talk Between NC Student Journalists and Josh Stein" for the student paper, where I explain in greater detail Stein's policy and goals should he be elected. To make the most informed and responsible decision in the election, I would also urge you to look into Stein's opposing Republican candidate Mark Robinson and his campaign. You can access this information on Robinson's campaign website, markrobinsonfornc.com. With the presidential election less than 1 week away, I also want to remind everyone that early voting ends November 2nd at 3 p.m. Visit your local polling place with a valid ID today. Now over to Kenzie for weather update.
Thanks, Bella. UNCW students have been able to enjoy an awful lot of sunny days recently, as this October is predicted to be the driest month on record for Wilmington. Data showed that halfway through the month, the city had only seen 1/100th of an inch of rainfall, a stark contrast to the average of 5 inches of precipitation that falls on the port city in October usually. According to historical data, October could be only the 3rd month on record to see less than 1/10 of an inch of rain after 29 straight days of sunny skies. Even so, a wetter than usual September has protected New Hanover County from drought. According to government data, no part of the county is currently under any drought conditions. Now, let's turn things back over to Emma for an update regarding future changes in bus routes.
Thanks, Kinsey. Changes are coming to UNCW bus routes in January, and one change in particular has some students in a tizzy. The Wave Transit Board of Directors plan to cut the Crest Shuttle, the only free shuttle from campus to the Center for Marine Science in Mason-Borough. The Crest Shuttle provides a direct, nearly 15-minute commute covering 5 miles, a distance not practical for walking. Without this route, students will have to take a bus to Monkey Junction, then pay $2 for a ride micro service to CMS, making what once was a free trip costly. Students can pay for their trip to CMS in the Ride Micro mobile app with a debit or credit card or with exact change cash upon boarding. A pass can also be purchased ahead of time at a Wave Transit transfer station. Final plan updates and new routes are coming soon, and you can stay informed at www.wavetransit.com. Now let's turn things over to Emily for some exciting news about a significant grant award UNCW received that's making a wave in STEM.
That's right, Emma. We have exciting news for UNCW. The National Science Foundation has awarded the university a nearly $300,000 grant to launch a STEM equity project called UNC by the Sea STEM Equity Access, which is an initiative to advance women in STEM fields at the university and beyond. According to the UNCW website, the project will conduct a comprehensive self-assessment to uncover barriers and benefits to the success of women faculty, focusing on women who are military-affiliated or first-generation college students. Kate Nooner, lead principal investigator, psychology professor, and senior associate dean of the College of Science and Engineering, says the project will assess the current environment, identify best practices from peer institutions, and develop a culture that amplifies women's attainment as STEM faculty. For more information about this new project, you can check out UNCW's website. Let's take things back to Emma and shed light on daylight savings.
The end is near for daylight saving time. This Sunday, November 3rd, millions of Americans will gain an extra hour of sleep as the clocks roll back 1 hour at 2 a.m. local time. Since the passing of the Energy Policy Act in 2005, DST has begun annually on the 2nd Sunday in March and ending on the 1st Sunday of November. For 2 states, however, this is not the case. According to the DOT, Arizona and Hawaii have not participated in daylight savings since the late 1960s. Because of its desert climate, Arizona gets a pass, and Hawaii's closeness to the equator means there's not much variance between the hours of daylight. For the rest of us, we can all look forward to that extra hour of rest. Well, Davis, let's take a look at sports.
Thanks, Emma. For this week's sports recap, we'll start things off with Dylan covering both men and women's golf.
Thanks, Davis. The men's golf team looked to close out the fall season strong at the Williams Cup located at Eagle Point Golf Club. After 3 fought rounds by the Seahawks, the team finished in 11th place with a team score of 31 over par. James Rico led the way for the Seahawks as he finished under par and recorded multiple birdies in the final round. The men will kick off the spring season in early February as all eyes are set on the Sea Best Invitational. Chipping over to the women's team, the women teed off in Chapel Hill for the Tar Heel Invitational. A dominating performance by Victoria Levy finishing 2 over par and Hannah Altman finishing 1 over secured each of them a top 10 spot and a team finish of 12th place in a 17-team competition. The Lady Seahawks stayed in town for their next tournament in the Landfall tradition to wrap up the fall season. Victoria Levy and Malu Brink were among the top contributors towards the Seahawks score as the team held the 9th place spot heading into the final day. A performance by Hannah Altman again kept the Seahawks in check as the team was able to finish in the 12th spot. The women will have a little break like the men before they tee it up again at the Purdue Puerto Rico Classic in February. Let's send it over to Alexa for an update on soccer.
Thanks, Dylan. This weekend, soccer did phenomenal as we celebrated the 3 seniors, Bennett Jones, Joseph Hefele, and Zach Sawyer. We beat Monmouth brutally 3-0 this Saturday. Goals were scored by Christian, Joseph, and Brian. Trey Smiley was also named Rookie of the Week. Go Hawks! Now on to tennis.
Thanks, Alexa. UNCW tennis has been killing it lately. The men's team finished the fall season strong yesterday at the UNCW Team Invitational. On the first day of this 3-day match, the Seahawks beat Coastal Carolina 3-1 in doubles and beat Davidson 9-0 in singles. Their victory tour continued on day 2, winning 3-1 against Davidson in doubles and 7-2 against Boston College in singles. On the final day, UNCW shut out BC in doubles with a score of 4-0 and won 7-2 in singles against Coastal. The women's fall season just began on October 18th at the NCCU Invitational. This 3-day invitational ended with the Lady Seahawks winning doubles with a 7-5 win over Coastal Carolina. Alicia Everween and Caitlin Hubbard won in singles as they both made it past the semifinals and were set to play each other in the final round. The women will take to the court again next weekend when they host the Seahawk Ocean Classic, and the men are getting some well-deserved rest until the spring. Their first match will be against Florida State on January 25th. Now back to Davis and Emma.
Thanks, Marie. Well, that wraps up sports. What else have you got for us, Emma?
Let's jump over to Anna, who covered a recent concert in Wilmington benefiting Western North Carolina.
Thanks, Emma. After the destruction Hurricane Helene caused for Western North Carolina, Wilmington hosted an exciting event at Greenfield Lake Amphitheater that helped raise money for those affected by Helene. A concert called From Wilmington with Love was hosted by the Wilmington Arts Council this past Tuesday, October 29th, with support from Live Nation and the NC Music Office. 100% of the proceeds will go to local charities helping Western North Carolina recover. North Carolina native and headliner of the show, Ben Fold, says, "Our goal with this benefit concert is to raise awareness and funds to support the massive rebuilding efforts now underway, and that will be ongoing for months and years to come." Now back to Emma.
Thanks, Anna. That's all for this week's news. If you have any newsworthy stories you'd like us to cover, email our team at uncwseahawkscentralnews@gmail.com.
And be sure to follow Seahawk Central Sports on Instagram for exclusive shows and content.
And while you're at it, follow Seahawk Central News on Instagram for more updates as well. Thanks for tuning into Seahawk Central. I'm Emma Tillman.
And I'm Davis Bell.